the game here, and we will see Supremacy start on attack. ENCE eSports going to start on defense. Again, this is Kafe Dostoyevsky. This is map number 1.
Bar cocktail lounge coming out from ENCE to start us off.
Very common.
Extremely common. I mean,
the primary bomb site.
Yeah, there isn't. Trying to think right now. Yeah, we've seen a couple teams bring us to train first, but it hasn't seemed to be the preferred bomb site. More just hey, let's mix it up.
Yep.
I think everyone through and through takes this top floor whenever they can. No big surprises in terms of operator selection. Castle is going to be, of course, very useful on this bomb site. There is a Glass on the attacking side, which has been phased out of the meta somewhat, but is still useful. And I think when they're pushing in through the cigar doorway, that is definitely going to see, I mean, smoke up those cigar doorway, challenge onto the A bomb site angle as well as the freezer angle. You're going to win those fights, and that's going to put your team in a great spot. I mean, it's going to put your team in a great spot. If you win both those fights, you win the round. Quite definitively.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Now, Panari's in, I'll say Panari, Chalet, and Wilkie are all in a little bit of a
What's
peculiar
happening
situation.
here?
Looks like they're going to open up the drop hatch. Valkyrie Cam is going to come out onto the Christmas tree, possibly in the corner. I'll have to take a look, see if Panari double checks that camera. I want to see where exactly that went to.
Oh, we're seeing the C4 on
okay,
the
so
roof.
he threw the camera out. One of his teammates is going to use it. He's going to toss out a C4 onto him.
So we do see this used, I mean, I don't know about you. I see this used in ranked quite a lot. I'm not sure if it's going to work at this level of play. It's a pretty easy thing for the attackers to counter if they're ready for it. And yeah, as you can see here, it's not going to work for ENCE as Supremacy is going to call it out and say, okay, repel far, guys, repel far. They've got a camera, they're ready to C4. And yeah, Supremacy will just kind of walk around that. But not a huge waste, just a camera and a C4 at the end of the world there for ENCE, despite a little bit of a shot in the dark.
Yeah, they still have the C4 on Chalet as well as the impact grenades on Wilkie. So they are still sitting tight with some good utility to utilize later on in the round.
Stay back.
First time we've seen Glass come out of the woodwork today, though. Zephyr is going to pick him up and go into the skylight above bar.
Yeah, later on he's going to be used in all likelihood to push in through that cigar and again challenge those angles to try to give him some advantage. Well, this is actually really aggressive here from Bibu, already into that bar, that small bar inside of Piano. And that means Panari is going to be a little bit of a pinch here, being challenged now by 2 different attackers. He's going to be, all the pressure's on him basically when he challenges, or rotates in this instance. He's going to make a pass because that grenade kind of actually covered his retreat.
They pushed out Panari a little bit too early. They did not have, I think, Poseidon.
Oh, wow. He's going to put himself back in this spot.
He is.
This is very dangerous what Panari's challenging here.
I would have expected Panari to try to challenge Panari, or try to get the collapse of Panari as he runs away after the nade comes through, but they didn't. He's going to move on over. The C4 from Chalet is going to land. That's going to go from the freezer bathroom over there and pick off Raphael.
That had to have been a pre-play C4.
Very well made a bit.
Yeah, I don't think he can throw that far, so I think that was a pre-play C4. I like that from Chalet, reading into where the attack's coming from, understanding it's almost always going to be in the small bar of Piano. And I'm guessing it was probably right on the shelving unit of the bar itself.
Now, unfortunately, they did not get Panari out of that corner, so he'll get rid of the Hibana charges. Merriwind will still stay intact, but Panari will then finally be taken down by Spark. The frag comes on out, a 4-on-4, 25 seconds left to go. Kanto's going to come around for the flank. There's no one watching just yet. He's going to sneak on up, come from behind Poseidon to his left and right side, swings on over, and there's the kill. He gave away his position. Chalet picks up the one on the Bibu, and we're going to have Supremacy now up by one man.
The diffuser's going down.
3-on-1, Bootsy's last man alive. The diffuser will get not planted, but he has to get taken off there by Poseidon. Sweeping up, that's going to be a 2 or 3K for him coming in from the cigar lounge.
Just a little bit of a preemptive rush there from ENCE, unfortunately. That late flank from, I believe it was Kanto Raketti, was just poorly timed, which is abnormal for Kanto Raketti, to say the least. He's usually really good with his timings there. And because of that, we are going to have, as you can see, Supremacy win that first round, and I think it really just comes down to Poseidon pivoting off of his teammates at the right moments. I mean, he saw him come from a kill off of in the Piano to that flank hold, and then that final kill on to, I believe that was Boonsy.
Yeah, I mean, Kanto Raketti was coming up the stairs. What was the nail in the coffin for that flank was actually him pre-firing or going for the kill of the man going from cigar into bar.
Well, arguably he would have been heard regardless. I think it also, you could attribute it to the fact that instead of a thermite hole, we had a Habana hole.
Yep.
And then instead of going through the cigar doorway, he opted to go through the said Habana hole, commit to that piano push. I think if he had tried to go into the cigar room instead, he would have been met with a lot more liberty of movement. And that's where Kanto really excels as a player, is being able to maneuver around his opponents. Even in those tight
10
corners,
seconds remaining.
he's really is what he. Kanto is what definitely one of those players that is a 3-speed player. You know, he commits to those 3-speed operators, and you can see here playing Ash and Jaeger both. That's it's not a bad thing. It's just what he's really good at. It's what he excels at, and needs
Now,
to be able to utilize
it is
that speed.
odd looking here for ENCE eSports. No Hibana, no Thermite.
Yeah, no destructibility whatsoever is kind of abnormal. We do see it. I think we saw it from G-Bots a couple times, but we've seen it. You know, it's a rarity, but it happens.
We've seen it from G-Bots a couple times, but G-Bots is also no longer with us.
Yeah,
So-
G-Bots doesn't exist anymore. But you know, I believe whatever the case be, going for the full frag potential is interesting, but also it's perplexing because yes, we're frag potential, but why Thatcher if you're not going to bring a Habana or a Thermite? What purpose does he serve? Plus, Habana, not arguably, definitively has more frag potential than Thatcher.
Yes.
So what's the what's the plan? I'm curious, somewhat perplexed and curious. Arguably, you don't really need very much breaching potential on this bomb site attack. But at the same time, they don't necessarily know that this is where ENCE or Supremacy is going to be defending because they haven't defended anything yet.
So the one thing that I can think of why you bring the Thatcher over the Hibana is so that IQ can pick out where the yokai is, the EMPs go down for 10 seconds to get that plant down.
You're absolutely right, but at the same time, what if we had Supremacy defend top floor first?
Yep.
If Supremacy had defended top floor first, then ENCE would be forced into nothing but bottlenecks for the whole round. However, Kanto's going to start us off with a nice kill on his Zephyr.
Ooh, team kill coming out. Kanto grabs a double kill. Triple if you count the head of Nari.
Yeah. 3 kills there from Kanto.
Spark will then get one onto Wilkie, turning man count back into the same 3-on-3 here. However, Poseidon looks as though he may have been injured. Either that or he's sitting on 1 health. Now it looks like 2 members from ENCE will be spotted out. It's going to be Shots in the top of red, Boonsy underneath in the red corridor, second floor.
We do have Poseidon extremely lit up right now, if not downed entirely, which is, you know, a 3 armor that's lit is basically fish in a barrel. Now he is downed.
He will not get picked back up. Shots is going to have full control over him inside a fireplace.
The only players left alive on the Supremacy lineup are actually roamers right now.
It's odd to know that ENCE is going to be pushing into both bomb sites. Now from above, Shotek sees the explosion happen. He peeks on up, grabs the kill. Sparks to be the last man alive. And all he has to do is just keep the plant from going down. Kanto Raketi's going to be inside. He gets the plant down successfully, and unfortunately, Supremacy will not win this first round. As Shots is going to have that nice slick angle from the train room through the fireplace wall into the hallway to pick off Spark.
So the attacker's definitely feeling at home here, whether it be ENCE or Supremacy. Both of them definitely winning their first attack rounds. What happened there, ENCE read into the fact that Supremacy was invested so heavily on the top floor, and they were committed, by the way, to that roam game upstairs. And they were like, okay, we'll just attack into the bomb site. They did just that. They won their fights, and that's all she wrote. Now, Supremacy going on to their attack here, and ENCE are going to defend the bar cocktail lounge. Again. They were unsuccessful here the first time, but I think it might really just be down to some excellent gunplay from Poseidon, really pivoting off of the different angles at the right moments. It was so very close to a victory for ENCE.
And as we saw there from ENCE, they honestly did not need the Hibana or the Thermite. They were perfectly fine without it. They did very well executing their strategy onto the site.
I mean, I would say when you're attacking onto that bomb site, unless you're going for a red hall take, trying to thermite that wall into wheel room, then there's no real necessity when it comes to, or even a wide stairs take into B. There's no necessity for that breach potential. Yes, the drop down, sure, in piano, but where did we see ENCE go? They didn't go for that drop down. They just forced their way into the bomb site, and it worked wonders for them. Now, we are seeing that top floor defense yet again coming out from ENCE. No adjustment there. They're not trying to go for the train. Supremacy, meanwhile, is going to be bringing that glass yet again to try and smoke up that cigar before they make their push into the main bar.
I think it's worth noting here, though, that when we talked about the top 5 defense-picked operators, we identified Valkyrie in the EU region as that rotation operator. Here for ENCE, though, they're going with the Bandit, taking off the Bandit for the Castle, which on this top 4 site, barbed wire is king. And so it's a little arguable, or a little, we'll say, room for argument to determine why the Bandit over the Valkyrie.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting discussion there, but obviously, you know, each of these different teams, they have their own policies. Whoa, ho, Chalet.
Very aggressive as a Mira, not the quickest of operators.
Yeah.
Trying to get away from the glass, and that is exactly why Zephyr's going to down the headshot right on to him and say, eat it.
Yeah, as soon as he committed all the way to that north side of the top floor, the only way he could have gotten away from that safely is if he'd actually just dropped downstairs and rotated back up the white stairs. That was his only avenue of escape. And I don't know why he committed in the first place. That's the perplexing thing for me. Meanwhile, Supremacy, they have control over the cigar room, which means they're going to be positioning themselves to push into the main bar. They've got a lot of push here.
Oh, unfortunate. He's just going to say get rid of it. Because if he blows that, that's just going to blind himself.
Yeah, gave cover for the enemy to progress. That is really unfortunate. Now another kill for Zephyr.
Still here up inside of the skylight. Supremacy holding down the fort there, and unfortunately, ENCE just going to show their feet, and that's all that Glaz needs.
Yeah, Glaz does still do a substantial amount of damage per bullet despite his recent nerf. There's a gas canister right in front of you, Beagle, and it's not going to matter.
Oh, the smoke has already been downed.
Oh, yeah, is that what it is? Yeah, no, of course, he was the one who was taken out by the Zephyr up on that skyline.
Smoke grenades are going to come out. That's going to allow Biba to rush on in. He's going to move in forward. Knows that Panari's behind the cocktail lounge. He's going to get inside. Spark picks up a headshot there into Wilkie. It's going to be a 2-on-5. Kanto Arcadi Panari going to tag on down. Panari tags one before he gets traded off. Last minute is going to be Kanto. Moves on inside. Bibu with a double kill. Wonderful shots there. And that's going to be a round in favor of Supremacy.
So attackers. This is what we were seeing in the previous match on Border. Earlier today was just attack wins after attack wins after attack wins. The first team to win their defense is going to set a good, well, pace, I suppose, moving into the rest of the match as a whole. And this is just the slugfest we were expecting. Both of these teams definitely showing that they have what it takes here to win this slot and get into the winner's bracket of the playoffs. Neither wanting to try and fight it out in the loser's bracket with Millennium in next week.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Again, while there is quite a lot of pressure in this match to try and guarantee yourself a spot to land, even if you lose, you're still going to get a chance in the during next week against Millennium, like I talked about earlier, for that third slot.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Now, Supremacy, similar to ENCE, are going to be defending the middle floor rather than rotating to the top floor. Absolutely no rotations for the defenders yet on either team, despite losing continually.
Now, ENCE has chosen to bring that Hibana this time instead of the Thatcher, so might have been an oversight. Maybe it was dictated that, hey, Chalet needs to go with that Thatcher. But
yeah, I'm guessing that bringing zero destructibility when it comes to reinforced walls is a bit of a mistake. I mean, you've got two options. One of them is, I mean, Hibana, come on. Hibana is everything.
She is the top pick attack operator in the European scene.
Yeah, as well as I think a couple other scenes.
Yep.
Probably the majority. She is by far and away one of the best attackers right now. And not bringing her to the field is questionable, to say the least. Now, ENCE, wow, playing some really wide angles here. You can see they're just looking for opportunities to pick off one or two of the Supremacy members before actually making a push. And this is just them trying to get that man advantage, but it wastes a lot of time. Just a tremendous amount of time.
Now, you can't see my face here. We're watching the game cam at the moment, but I just got wide-eyed watching Boonsy almost back up off the ladder. I didn't know you could pick up the ladder from behind. I think he was going to fall off to his death, and I was like, that's going to be very unfortunate.
You didn't know you could get onto a ladder when you fall?
No, I thought you had to look at it from the front side.
No, he dropped off the ladder and then caught it midair.
I had no idea you could do that.
Oh, okay.
Well,
it's
I
really
don't
cool.
climb that many ladders.
It's super cool. At any point on the ladder, you can just press spacebar and you're on it.
Look at that.
It's pretty dope. Now, yeah, we are going to be having a roam game yet again from Supremacy up at the top floor, but it's less committed, I'd say. They do have 2 players upstairs. I think last time it may have been 3, but more importantly, last time they were fully holding into that piano, and this time they're not. They're a little bit less committed to piano.
There are 4 members from ENCE pushing their way into the red staircase, top of the red staircase. You saw the C4 come on out, did not do any damage, but Spark was able to tag 1 shot down there onto Kantaraketi, taking out the Ash. Looks like another Yokai is going to be swinging on forward. You heard the burst go. Panari's going to get disoriented. You've got Bibu to the left side of Spark, and he needs to have that heartbeat sensor out to try to tag down anyone else, or at least identify someone trying to push in.
It's worth saying that even if these 2 die right now, immediately, they've done their job. They've gotten a kill, and they're down. The attackers are down to 46 seconds.
Panari goes for the push there. He'll be taken out. Bootsy, though, looking at moves on forward, snags Bibu as he tries to escape down through the drop hatch. Spark picks up another kill, and he's going to go on through successfully. Boonsy will fall. Now a 2-on-4. Very, very important and well done roam job here by Supremacy.
Yeah, you could see that synergy really shining through there for Supremacy, and that's one of the strong suits of that team, has always just been their cohesion as a unit. And now, ENCE in a 2 versus 4, they only have 18 seconds. This is not going to happen.
And here it is. Poseidon's going to be behind the B-bomb. Wilkie's going to go for the pre-fire here. He's going to assume it, but he misses the target there, and Poseidon comes out on top as Spark will get Chalet down, and that is going to be a flawless round. Not a flawless round, a 4K round there for Supremacy.
Yeah, of course the Pulse getting taken out, but overall, Supremacy feeling very comfortable here on Kafe, so definitely against our predictions. Clearly, ENCE struggling a little bit with Supremacy's overall strategy. That is the first defense win so far on this map, and now ENCE with the first rotation. They have suckered their pride and will make the adjustments necessary to win these rounds as they go down into the fireplace.
Bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, that's what we saw, or that's what we did not see from Millennium on Border. They chose to go upstairs for a 3rd time in a row, and it ultimately did work for them. That 3rd time, they did successfully hold the defensive site, but many teams, I'd say the majority of Pro League teams, if they are unsuccessful on a defensive hold 2 times in a row, they will then rotate off to a different bomb site.
Yeah, usually even 1 time in a row. I mean, that's what Penta does. If Penta loses somewhere, they just go somewhere else. They're like, yeah, we'll go the other place. We don't need to force this out. We got options. Whereas, yeah, no, that's not something, we don't see a lot of rotation from ENCE eSports. They're more commonly seen trying to force out a bomb site over and over and over again. Same as you can clearly tell here with Supremacy. Now, we are having ENCE going for their train defense, and they're going to have, yet at the same time, still a roam game heavy upstairs. They're utilizing that mirror window on the far east side of the top floor, looking towards Piano, which is going to give quite a lot of control.
We originally saw that, I think, from Team Vitality. I remember Panari, or Panic, sorry. Panic's getting like a 3 or 4K from there.
Yeah, I think it was Team Vitality. I think it was Panic, but I'm not sure. Whoever it was, yes, it was a really nice, it was definitely a 4K, and it was, it basically spawned that mirror window into existence. That one round was like, hey guys, look at me. I have full control over the top floor from one single angle. Use me. And here you can see very clearly, I think that's Panari playing it right now.
See you on the other side.
No, it's actually Kanto. Panari's pushed his way into Piano on the pixel angle, and he's going to have to contest Bibu in a second here unless he decides to fall off this angle.
Yeah, looks as though Panari will get droned on out. Bibu will be pushing in forward, trying to challenge that and contest it. No, he's actually going to back on out, go down the red stairs. C4 comes out from Chalet. That's going to be a predetermined one, a preset one, and Rafael will actually find it under his feet.
These pre-placed C4s are really working. It's the same one from ENCE that they used when they were defending the top floor, and it's working still.
So here we are, little under less than half the round to go. We are going to see Poseidon try to get this drop hatch opened up, and looks like it will be successful. Panari comes on through, trying to tag down the shots down to Bibu and Poseidon.
It's really unfortunate that Panari missed those shots. If he had been able to trade back, or get, sorry, not trade back, rather, extend his man count lead here for this round, it would have been tremendous for his team.
Now, it's worth noting that there's no more Hibana charges, and so the mirror window that Chalet's on will stay intact. You cannot see that necessarily from the drop hatch. So he's going to stay there, and Zephyr will then move in forward with the smoke grenades.
They can open up the floor above it, technically, but it doesn't look like they're committing themselves to that. Wilkie's going to take out Spark elsewhere, and now this lead for ENCE is stretching ever so much more.
And Supremacy's going to try to push their way in. Poseidon, Zephyr last two alive. Poseidon now going to be inside a piano room. He's going to go 1-on-4, and it is not going to look well for him. Kanto's still top floor. He's going to be the only roamer above, and we are going to see now Poseidon work his way down the red staircase. He's going to be spotted out here by shots, and I wouldn't be sure if there's nothing more than just a few bullets coming his way, as we do see right there. Hopping on out the window, moves on in, and unfortunately he gets taken out here momentarily. No! He's going to pick up Chalet. Wilkie, however, will say, no, I'll get you from behind, and there's going to be the shots. ENCE now securing this round here. They're up, or they're down by 1 point, 3-2.
Nice double kill there, but unfortunately it's not enough for Poseidon to win the or win that round. And now, like you said, 3-2. Supremacy, they have the lead still, but it's slipping away for them. They are going to be going on to defense. And ENCE is going to be going on to attack. We are seeing a Q yet again, and no destructibility from ENCE. This is so curious. No reinforced destructibility. Neither Hibana nor Thermite. We don't see that very often. It is very odd.
And you had mentioned it before that if they go top floor, that it doesn't make much sense because they're going to bottleneck themselves. But
yeah.
They know that the bomb site's going to go top floor.
If they're going to be going, there are ways to attack this floor without destructibility, without the Thermite or the Hibana, but they're kind of out of the norm. You know, we're talking about pushing in through the B bomb site windows. Towards that cocktail lounge, not the B bomb site windows, excuse me, the A bomb site windows on the far east side of the building, and having hard cover downstairs in the library. And that is, sure, that's a viable strategy, but it's still a big risk, and it doesn't sound anything like the ENCE that I know. The ENCE that I know goes for the typical. They go for the refined, and they do it well. Whereas, yeah, that's not what they're going to be committing themselves to in all likelihood. So, I don't know how they're going to make this attack work without a Thermite or a Hibana. They're not going to be able to open up that red stairs hallway or wall, which means they won't be able to get into Piano unless they push directly through Cigar, which is already, again, that's the initial bottleneck. Then they won't be able to take any control over Piano because they have to contest with those mirror windows. That's the second bottleneck, which means all they have is control over Cigar. And lo and behold, the only door they can push through is the Cigar door, which there's almost no control over, and they don't have any smokes. So, I mean, that's a very difficult round for ENCE here.
Yeah, they've got...
It's really Supremacy's round to lose.
Yeah, there's a lot of, we'll call it nade utility with regards to flashbangs and, I mean, there's claymores there, we have frag grenades, but there's, like I said, there's no smokes.
I like what they're doing here with the IQ and the Thatcher. IQ's looking for electronic devices, and Thatcher is Thatchering right above them on the roof to try and clear them out.
Now, here we've seen a shield similar to this
was by
season
ENCE.
during ENCE. ENCE did the double strat. Penta did one, I believe.
Well, it was both of them. I mean, they did start it. Like I talked about, those Titan teams really forcing it out. So, another thing to note about this matchup as Bibu gets lit up via Boonsey.
Ooh, Boonsey able to just navigate away. He's going to rotate underneath of the window, pop back up. Bibu able to escape. No one else able to collapse onto him, but as he runs away, almost gets tagged in the back there by Panari.
Another thing to note about this matchup is that Supremacy is... they need to win for their French brethren because we just saw Millennium lose to Penta, and those are the two French teams that have made their way here into the playoffs. Now, technically Millennium still has a chance, but if Supremacy loses here to ENCE and then gets pushed down into losers bracket, it's going to be French on French, and then only one French could possibly make it to land.
So looking like he picks up the headshot there onto Zephyr. Boonty is navigated over to the east windows by the A's site. There's still some pressure being put on above from Chalet. Claymore kill from Chalet will pick off Spark. Wonderful job there. That's going to take out one of the flankers. Bibu comes swinging on forward. Rafael will get Kanto down, and Bibu swings, gets the shit down onto Boonty. Gets the kill down onto him. Wilkie then tags one onto Rafael. Poseidon gets the headshot frag onto Panari. 2 on 2 now with Bibu and Poseidon, last 2 alive for the defenders. Poseidon goes down. Bibu's going to be the last man alive, and that's all that's needed. Diffuser was not placed down in time, and therefore we will have Supremacy win this bomb site. They now go up 4-2.
And that match point comes into play here. Supremacy clearly having a deep understanding of Kafe, and maybe we just underestimated their professionalism on this map. To be honest, doesn't look like a huge amount of counter-striding coming out from Supremacy. It seems like some big mistakes being made from ENCE, and I hate to harp. To be honest, I hate to harp on the fact that there's no destructibility options coming from ENCE on their attacks, but that has actually really held them back in these rounds. And you could tell it's slowing down the maneuverability and forcing them into engagements that they really don't want to be found in. Now, Supremacy, they are going to not either bring any destructibility, as you can see here from this lineup. New meta on Kafe, I suppose. Don't try to open up any of the reinforced walls or mirror windows. Simply just take the fights and win them. And you know what? Hey, if it works, I suppose. Although it does seem like an unnecessary risk. I mean, you can easily rotate out a sledge for a Hibana. You don't need the sledge. He's useful, but he's not necessary. I understand why you would want your Glaz and your Blackbeard. Your Ashe, of course. You can rotate an Ashe even. If you want to keep the sledge, you can rotate the Ashe. And then the Capitao, obviously, we're seeing Supremacy bring for a specific reason. That's the only reason you bring Capitao is for a one job. So there's still room for Hibana, who is a great operator outside of her destructibility. I don't know. I'm just perplexed somewhat by the selections here. I'll have to talk with teams afterwards to see what the thought process was.
Now we are going to see Supremacy looking like they're pushing in from the east windows. They might lay on some pressure onto the east windows here by A site. Supremacy seems to be taking their time trying to get into position, not doing anything too quickly, making sure that they've got the information they need, making it as easy as possible.
I mean, that's what we saw ENCE do last round, and that's obviously why they lost the round. So the question then becomes, like, is this the right decision to be making right now?
Flashbang is going to come out. Now the Valkyrie camera there is easily going to get destroyed if they want to waste some time to peek on down towards it, but it's going to give them some idea on is there any pressure coming from the white stairs.
Yeah, and Supremacy just wasting away the time here 1 second at a time. They have control over this middle floor for the most part, but they still have to contest Kanto, who is going to drop down and, just barely not get shot by Poseidon.
Ooh, he's going to get a couple bullets into his rib cage, though, as Bibu and Poseidon going to collapse onto him. Frag Grenade's going to come out, and unfortunately, though, Kanto's already navigated away. It's going to kill Zephyr's drone. There are some shots down. Kanto falls, as well as Panari by Spark.
And it looks like this might be it for ENCE, actually, as those two players get taken out. Now ENCE in a 3 versus 5. They've got a lot of work here to do. With only 57 seconds left to go, though, the attackers have to be pushing immediately.
Now Wilkie is trying to move around very quietly. He could try to go for the wallbang there, but he doesn't know that Poseidon's working his way up the red stairs. Spark seeing that the cast grenade is going to go out forward. There's a fire arrow kill from Rafael on a Boonty. That's the exact reason why they brought the Capitao. Wilkie pushes on out. That's also Diffuser that's fallen. He picked up 2 kills. This could go in favor here of ENCE if they stay alive. Chalet, however, does take a couple bullets into the back. Poseidon goes for them refrags, but he misses his target. Comes on out to Chalet, picking up a double kill. This was a 5-on-2. It's now a 1-on-2 with Zephyr last man alive. He's very low health. If he misses his fall, it could be to his death. He will not be able to pick up the diffuser. There's not enough time. He goes for the kill, but Chalet gets the triple kill there, and that's going to be ENCE securing this, still keeping it around, winning a 5-2 deficit man count to turn it into their favor, 2-0.
That was absolutely through and through Supremacy's round, but ENCE, specifically Chalet and Wilkie, with a 2K from the Wilk and a 3K from the Chat, did manage to somehow bring that back, and oh wow, that was a miraculous clutch. There's not enough unison pressure from all of the Supremacy players. I mean, they really needed to come in together, and instead they engaged one by one, and as a result, Chalet and Wilkie did manage to end up winning that round. That attack strategy for Supremacy, by the way, was a really nice one. I do like what they were doing there. That was the attack strat we were discussing earlier, which was take control over the middle floor, deny that roam game in the library to deny the run out, and then push in through the, sorry, not push in through the, but rappel onto those cocktail lounge windows, apply pressure to the bomb site itself, and then get the defuse plant. Now what happened there, as you can see, is Wilkie somehow managed to slip by that flank hold, and the run out was not denied. And that's really what ended up causing the loss there for Supremacy. But they still have one round to win this map outright and deny the overtime.
I'm trying to reflect on the past 7 rounds of ENCE play and trying to debate whether or not this is the ENCE we saw 2 weeks ago or if this is the Sisu we've seen for the past 18 months.
See, that's the frustrating thing. Is
I
that
feel
it's
like this is the Sisu from the past 18 months.
We've been seeing, they always have like a match where they're just on point and everything is happening for them, regardless of the team they're playing against too.
Yep.
It's not like it's not just against pushover teams. That's not what I'm saying. It's just sometimes they're on point, sometimes they're not. It's hit or miss with ENCE. And I don't know, if today they just feel a little bit slower than we're used to. The confidence is kind of withering, and I think it might be because they're now on match point against them. That's not a good feeling.
It's not, but they also know that if they win this round and do it successfully, they will go into overtime, giving them a little bit of a breather. Not much, though. Enough just to get themselves back into the motivation.
Yeah, ENCE has already progressed their way into the building very close to the bomb sites. They are sprawled out around this middle floor, just waiting for the opportunities to get a couple picks and put themselves in that man advantage. Meanwhile, we do still have a very heavy roam from Supremacy on the top floor, which will be all but useless given that ENCE is just addressing this horizontally.
And it looks like some lack of droning will then allow Zephyr to sneak on up the red stairs to pick off Benari. However, he is met by Kanto, but he does not land the shots. Zephyr comes swinging out on top, getting that frag down. A 3-on-5 in favor of Supremacy. This is looking like it could be in their favor, but again, they did not successfully catch the 5-2 last round. So this could still be ENCE's round, and we could see overtime. But with Chalet being disoriented, Zephyr's going to come swinging back up the red stairs here. And Chalet might be taken out of commission. I don't know if there's a hole that's been opened up to allow from the cubby into that red stairwell, but it looks as though Bibu gets taken out by Boonsy. Spark picking up the headshot there into Chalet, and now it's a 2-on-4. Zephyr still holding it nice and steady in the red stairwell. They know that the disorientation is coming. They know that both remaining members are going to be inside of reading. They're playing it very cautiously, playing the softer angles. You saw Spark above. He's waiting for the push out towards the red carpet, which is looking like we might see Boonsy and Wilkie go there. They are kind of looking towards the B site, and he's already inside of the hallway here. Flashbang's going to go in. Raphael will meet those and see him. He's going to move in forward, but Raphael picks up the kill. The shotgun from underneath. Poseidon gets it. Zephyr will fall to Wilkie's shot, and Spark will come swinging in hard and loud. That's going to be map number 1, going to Supremacy in a 5-3 fashion.
Not what I expected, to be completely honest, on Kafe. Sisu always, or sorry, excuse me, ENCE has always felt very comfortable. Well, previously Sisu, now ENCE has always felt really comfortable on this map, and now Supremacy showing their dominance here.
I think this is exactly why we saw them pick this map against ENCE, as they had stratted it out, they've counter-stratted, they knew how ENCE was going to react, and ultimately, that's how the map number 1 goes.
Yep. And now moving on to map number 2, it's going to be Chalet. Now, arguably, that's the sort of map that I would say also favors ENCE from history. But if Supremacy had put in the same amount of counter-strategy, if they have just as much understanding as they did on what we just witnessed on Kafe, on Chalet, then it might be a 2-0 here. This is a very definitive Supremacy coming out here today, coming up against ENCE, regardless of map.
It's very possible. Let's get underway and look at some highlights here from our previous map here on Kafe. This was a 3K from Kanto, one of them being his own teammate, but long story short, ENCE fell short on too many rounds here. Supremacy kicked it up a notch, and we saw them doing tremendous work. This moment here, this was a very good moment by Supremacy. It was Bibu and Spark both collapsing or both holding their cocktail lounge. They wasted 2.5 minutes up here, picked off, I think, 2 or 3 kills, and then back downstairs, and they said, well, we did our job.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that ENCE didn't even really address them very much. So they wasted, there was 2.5 minutes wasted, but at the same time, it was really just due to the fact that ENCE was doing a little bit too scared on their pushes. This was that round that was technically won by ENCE in a nice 2K, 3K fashion between Wilkie and Chalet, but it wasn't quite enough to bring it the match all the way back.
Yep.
New feed active.
And now here we have Zephyr on one of his roam games. He comes up swinging. That's the double kill. He picked up one earlier, and ultimately, Supremacy really stepping it up today. I think the community was very wise to consider this matchup very close.
I mean, of course, you're going to have ENCE get a lot of points because they've been around for so long, but Supremacy definitely did show us some true strength today. And I look forward to seeing what they're going to show us on Chalet.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting here that in the interview with Supremacy during I think it was the decider matches last week, we talked to the coach, Kiwi, from Supremacy, and he had mentioned that the original timeline for Supremacy to be here in the Pro League was Season 3. They said Season 1, they were just going to get used to playing on PC, because originally they are from Xbox. They were going to get used to PC, get better, learn the strats, learn the gameplay. Then in Season 2, they'd make it to the Challenger League. Season 3, be in the Pro League. They're ahead of schedule by one entire season, almost ahead of their entire goal of getting all the way to LAN. Let's head though into our game here. It's going to be map number 2 on Chalet. ENCE is going to be on attack as Supremacy is on defense, and we're going to see Bombsight head all the way downstairs into the wine cellar and snowmobile garage.
Wine cellar, snowmobile garage, usually the secondary bomb site for the majority of teams, and it's interesting to see Supremacy try to bring us somewhere a little bit different. But they've done that in the past. I mean, we saw them on Kafe bring us to Fireplace first instead of the old top floor. And it's worked out for them pretty well. So, of course, Supremacy having won map 1 already. And if you did not catch that, well, it was on Kafe just prior. They are going to be just looking to finish this up here with a nice quick 2-0. Meanwhile, ENCE eSports, obviously, if nothing else, have to be trying to protect their dynasty, as they are, again, one of the great titans of the European scene.
I mean, we noticed this, and we talked about it before during the group stages brackets. We've shown it, that every single game any of these teams have played, ENCE has played 2 this season so far, Supremacy has played 3, have all ended on the third map, 2-1. So if the cycle is going to be broken, looks like Supremacy will be the one to break it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely, though. I feel like ENCE is really going to come into their own here on Chalet. Now, being an emotional team as ENCE is, as they've told us in the past, and the confidence required for them to actually perform, that actually might not play through here, because they did just lose map number 1, and that's got to hurt. Now, against Supremacy, though, Supremacy has been just, again, feeling very strong. And they are going to be going for what I believe is slightly a heavy roam game, as I think that's Bibu all the way over in Trophy right now. Meanwhile, the top floor has been mostly forfeited. Yeah, that's Bibu playing over inside of Trophy, so that's just in an attempt to get that flank down in case the attackers choose to attack onto Wine Cellar. But it doesn't seem to be ENCE eSports' plan right now. Seems like they're going for more of a bar drop-down take right here. That hole that's been opened up by the Ash just now is going to give full visibility of the snowmobile garage, and Be able to destroy any of those bandit batteries that are on it right now, allowing then Wilkie to open it up from outside if that's where he is.
Yeah, we do have Panari, who was using that IQ electronics
dropped the
sensor earlier to try and spot out maybe some Valkyrie cameras put inside of the fireplace lounge. Bibu's still here inside of Trophy, but as we say that, he's going to drop down into the larger garage, into that main garage, coming
Attackers
towards
have
the
recovered
wine
their
cellar.
diffuser.
Yeah, he's conscious of the fact that ENCE is not attacking right now onto wine cellar, and he's going to try to influence the round by rotating. There is right now a Panari waiting patiently for him to challenge. We'll see who comes out on top there. Wow, actually Bibu's going to kill Panari. That is surprising.
Yeah,
Panari
had
had the
been
nice
holding
angle
that.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He'd been holding that for a good 2 minutes now, or a minute and a half at least.
See-
Bibu comes all the way back upstairs. He's now opened up a gate, opened up a hole in ENCE's attack.
See, that's what we were seeing between Penta, or that was seeing from Penta and Millennium earlier. Wow, Raphael with a nice double kill there onto Wilkie and Kanto. Now a 2-on-5. ENCE eSports gonna push in, but they're only gonna get 1 kill so far. Chalet onto Raphael, a nice refrag, but it's still not enough. With 40 seconds to go, Chalet's gonna push in and trade. It's all down to Boonsey now in a 1 versus 3, and it's not going to happen. That angle, which was previously opened up by the attackers, used against the attackers. And yeah, no, very clearly here, Supremacy feeling comfortable on Chalet, just as they did on Kafe earlier. Definitely the ENCE maps seeing a little bit of a turnaround.
Yeah, ENCE is going to decide to go to Kitchen and Trophy this time around, and though the rotator that they're going to take out is Mira. They're going to put in Pulse for that.
Attackers need to locate
Now,
and defuse
we are
many
going to
bombs.
be basically seeing a standard lineup here from, I wouldn't say from ENCE. Supremacy, though, they've chosen to go with the
Located by
Thermite
attackers.
and Hibana when Bombsight's going to be in Kitchen and Trophy. Not necessarily something you need both of those breach operators for. Typically, you just bring the Hibana, open up the hatch from that master balcony.
You know, it's an interesting contrast because on Kafe we saw almost no breach operators played. It was almost entirely just, hey, let's go for the frag potential, even if you're sacrificing the frag potential from Hibana. It was quite interesting. And now here on Chalet, it's the complete opposite, or to contrast Kafe,
5 seconds left before insertion.
which is, I don't know, to me a little bit weird. The destructibility, obviously, yes, on Chalet you do need more of that potential, but at the same time, it's about even between the two maps.
Spark is going to be up here on that backyard rock, looking in through the kitchen window. Misses his target there. I believe that was going to be onto Boonsey.
Supremacy taking this nice and slow. Now, okay, so what I was trying to reference earlier is that what we've been seeing from Supremacy so far in this matchup is the same thing we saw from Penta Millennium earlier, which was just Penta straight up winning their fights. Just no other, all factors aside. Penta was straight winning their fights against Millennium, and that's really what it came down to. And now we're seeing the same thing here. Supremacy are just straight winning their fights against ENCE. I mean, Panari held that angle on West Lobby stairs for how long? A minute and a half? And he still managed to lose it to a Jaeger who is just straight up challenging. I think it was Poseidon.
Yes, and now we are getting underway here.
Actually, it was
A little
Bibu,
bit
my
less
bad.
than a third or a quarter, half of the round left to go here. And there's still a lot of fighting going on inside of the library, which ultimately doesn't give you too much ground. It looks as though Zephyr has backed on out of that, as Kanto Raketi also navigated away. He's going to be downstairs inside of the wine cellar with Panari right next to him there inside of the blue hall. Zephyr's going to try to work his way down and challenge this. Panari is there. Pre-fires come on out. And Panari will come out on top, downing Zephyr, moving on up to finish up the kill, collect his bounty. A 4-on-5 now. After the first kill of the round has only lasted about a minute and 45 seconds. Now there's a minute left to go, and there is Bibu coming up with the trade. Kanto's still downstairs, however, and it looks as though Bibu's going to wait for him to go for a peek.
That's a good refrag there from Supremacy. No big loss on the attacker side of things. But as you can see here, there's still quite a heavy roam game coming out from ENCE. And Supremacy needs to pressure it out with only 46 seconds left to go. They got to make this happen.
Now the benefit for Supremacy is they do have top 4 control, so they're going to be able to try to get that drop hatch opened up. However, Chalet peeks around through the bush, grabs the kill into Poseidon. Bibu with yet again another kill there, and it looks as though Kanto's head will be taken out. Bibu with a 3K now, tags another one, and there's 2 more to go. Wilkie and Boonty, 20 seconds left, and Chalet is going to go for a couple shots from Kitchen, as Boonty's still moving his way over towards the trophy room.
15 seconds
That's going to
go.
take the Blackbeard out of position. Sparks going to have to navigate away. C4 comes on out. Rafael will fall. And last man, Boonty, will have to get the shots down onto Spark. And that is ENCE walking away with a victory on round number 2.
So here begins the slugfest. The attackers feeling comfortable on both sides of the fence. This is what we saw happen on Kafe to start us off. And this is what we're seeing happen on Chalet to start us off yet again. ENCE with a nice collapse there onto the Supremacy hold, dealing with the roamers swiftly, then just simply pushing into the bomb site from both angles through the B window and the dining table both. Good collapse. Now, moving forward, we will have a bar gaming room defense from Supremacy, and I'm not as shocked by this anymore as I used to be. And meanwhile, on the ENCE lineup, might not have seen any destruction, actually. Nope, there is a Hibana. At least we have a Hibana coming out from ENCE. Also an IQ, which is somewhat of an interesting pick here. I'm thinking they're expecting to be attacking onto a basement right now. But Supremacy is going to surprise them, I'm sure, by going to that bar gaming. Now, bar gaming has seen an uptake in play in recent seasons, specifically this one, just this season, actually. It has really proven itself as a viable bomb site, but there have been a little bit of ups and downs to it, some counters, and overall, I think it's been well-rounded for the defenders, and actually more wins than losses, I think.
Yeah, this season has kind of been the season it's shined in PC. However, Supremacy coming from the from the Xbox region, or the Xbox League, that actually saw quite a bit of Chalet play here inside of the bar and gaming room. So Supremacy's kind of bringing some of that knowledge here, maybe identifying a few things that some of the PC teams have not picked up just yet. Supremacy's still trying to find out if Wilkie will move his drone so he can finish it off, but that's going to force Spark to move out, as that Twitch drone will still shock him. Penari double checking to make sure that a cam will not necessarily be inside of the master bedroom. He spotted the one out by the main stairs. That's going to be the kitchen stairs, which is going to be one of those standard cameras.
And it's just taking control of these top floors, looking for the angles onto the defenders who are playing by the library. So in order to take onto bar, you need to clear out library first, because you have to eliminate that vertical control for the defenders. More importantly, once you have eliminated that vertical control for the defenders, you inherently then have it yourself, which offers you a lot of maneuverability onto those anchors.
Now they know that a player from Supremacy is going to be on the back stairs. There you see Rafael. He's going to be the one behind that shield. They know exactly that, okay, there is a person there. Blackbeard already spotted him out. The shield gives it away as well. It's how many people are going to be inside a library, and how are they going to get them out? You see ENCE just fortifying themselves right on the other side of L by office and kitchen stairs. Nade's going to come in hot from Penari. Lands on Rafael. That's going to remove him from the back stairs. They've also opened up the drop hatch. That's going to allow for the flank coverage as Spark is underneath.
Zephyr might get a good flank off here, though. It doesn't look like anyone from ENCE is watching for this.
They are not. He's going to move up forward, goes for the rush, picks off Chalet, moves on over, and that's already Penari, who's been taken out by Spark. Kanto gets the trade onto Spark, and a 3-on-3 now as Kanto's coming up from the basement, and he's going to move in towards those main stairs, looking in towards game room and bar. He's got a little barbed wire he's got to get rid of first so he doesn't give away his position, but before he does that, he's going to be very cautious. Wilkie and Boonty, last other men alive here with Kanto. Shots now coming on through towards that mirror window of Poseidon, going to tuck him away inside of the wall. 3-on-2. Now that Zephyr has been taken out by Boonty from the balcony of office. Bibu and Poseidon last two. The Twitch drone action going to happen, then force Poseidon to just do a little jiggle on the bite on the floor here. And he will get taken out by Boonty. Bibu picking up 1 kill. He's got 2 more to go. Goes for the shots, but misses Boonty. He's going to go back up the stairs. Boonty's going to try to challenge this. And it looks as though some shots go through the bottom of the stairs. It will catch Bibu's knee, decapitate, and we will see him go down. As ENCE securing this round, and that's going to be, I think, 2-1.
So ENCE get their first lead of this map, and they put themselves in a spot where they're thinking to themselves, all right, we can get that third map. We can make that third map happen. We don't have to lose this series. Meanwhile, Supremacy, while they were looking pretty strong on that defense and they got a good flank off, they had a good manner of trade backs, they still weren't unable to cinch out the round. I think it really came down to that pressure from Blackbeard all the way up on the main lobby balcony. He was just, his presence there was so dominant for the majority of the round, cut off such a good portion of the map, which resulted in Supremacy having to rotate around it and into lanes they weren't comfortable. And, you know, despite losing that top floor control, then the roamers were kind of forced into engagements they didn't like. Now,
Bibu has been doing a lot of work here on these first 3 rounds, and the rest of his team is going to have to start stepping it up if they want to bring this to a 2-0 victory. I mean, Bibu with 6 kills, some of his teammates with 2, 1, and also a 0 there by Poseidon. They just need to start working more together as a team, as we see ENCE doing on this map.
I mean, in contrast, Poseidon was one of the top fraggers, I think, for Kafe. He did some really good work there.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, everyone has their ups and downs, of course, but you're absolutely right. We do need to start seeing Supremacy start to wake up as a whole, as a team, as a unit. And I think they will. I mean, they've been showing us some great things today, and I don't imagine they're going to give up this lightly on the second map. Now, both destructibility options from, whoa, what a run out from Wilkie.
Oh,
and
he's
Will
going
get
to
a
tag
kill.
Bibu, taking out the top fragger for Supremacy. Wilkie realizing that timed rush out is perfect for someone trying to rush over to the trophy window. That
Okay.
also might have been a Vault cam to giving that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, write it down. 2 minutes, 41, 42-ish seconds left in the round on that run out. I'd say about 240. 240 is the right moment to make that run out happen.
Wilkie's still not going to go back to site. He's going to stay up inside of the kitchen with some coverage from Kanto. They're going to be the 2-man roam game off-site, holding this portion of the map down. That's the north end of the map. Poseidon looks like he wants to pinch in as Zephyr tries to peek around.
We are going to have Kanto Raketi playing inside the dining table. He's going to be challenged soon by Poseidon. This is going to be an important fight here, despite the fact that we've already lost Bibu for Supremacy. There can be even more of a deficit here. Kanto's always been good at playing these aggressive angles and winning them. Poseidon's got a large mountain to climb here, especially considering this would be his first frag of the match.
Now Wilkie is actually backed on up, taking a little bit of a softer, more conservative angle, allowing Kanto Raketi to also get here on an angle to the right side of kitchen. Poseidon still finding it difficulty, still finding some hurdles to get over to the kitchen. Once he gets there, the engagement might get a little bit sooner, or a little bit quicker, a little bit easier for him. Kanto opts to give up that position. They're going to back over a little bit more closer to Fireplace.
He's wasted so much time already. He doesn't have to force this out. Meanwhile, the Hibana's just trying to hold the flank for his teammates, who are now pushing in through this main wine cellar wall. This is the most important part of the attack, and as long as Hibana stays alive, she's done her role.
I think it's also worth noting that we did have Zephyr down inside of the cubby, which is on the left side of Boonsy. That wall may have gotten opened up because it was soft. No, it hasn't yet. Zephyr's waiting for that perfect opportunity. He's going to come slashing in with the hammer, and he'll most likely catch Boonsy off guard. Poseidon will finally pick up the shot onto Kanto after that engagement lasted for about 2.5 minutes. Here comes the hammer shot. Boonsy now is going to tuck himself inside of the corner. Goes for the peek, and the SMG-11 comes out on top as Poseidon will also fall by Wilkie. A 2-on-4 now with Wilkie trying to hold this top floor control. And it looks like Rafael going to try to toss in his last stun grenade. Gets caught up by the ADS. There's some shots going in down, and Rafael will come out on top, but only for a moment as Chalet picks up the frag onto Rafael, and ENCE will come out 3-1 at the moment after round number 4.
And it's looking to bring us that third map, seeming very strong here on this defense. I love that run out from Wilkie at about 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Meanwhile, the rest of his team with a great roam. You saw Kanto hold fast inside dining until there were only about 40 seconds left. That's so much time wasted. And then once the actual attack from Supremacy came into the bomb site, they just didn't have enough men. The manpower wasn't there, and they just couldn't get the refrags.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Now with that 3-2 scoreline for ENCE, they're going to be moving on to the attack. Once again, Supremacy will be defending the kitchen trophy.
Now this bomb site has seen probably the most play out of any bomb site on Chalet.
Easily, yeah.
And there really, other than the different holds on the top floor, there really has not been a drastic difference
10
over the
seconds
past
remaining.
few seasons with regards to holding this site. Has there been?
Well, we've seen, okay, so there's two real different ways
Attackers
that
have
we've seen
recovered their
this site
diffuser.
defended.
Attackers are
The
moving
two
out to
different
locate a
ways
bomb
are,
and defuse it.
first of all, you're usually always playing somebody in B in trophy. That's almost definitive. Second of all, you have a hard anchor, and then that hard anchor will pivot some roamers downstairs, or already have roamers downstairs, and they can go all the way from library to downstairs. It's just kind of a wide roam. But the retreat is always downstairs. And then the other way is having their roamers focus up into the master and offices. A lot of reinforcements in mirror windows and castle barricades. But when it really all comes down to it, the only variation that actually comes into this defense is on that roam game. Where do you want your roamers to be? How do you want them to operate? Do you want them to try to hard hold in master and office? Or do you want them to try and roam from library to basement? That's your call, and it's different for every team, but those are the real variations. Wow, what a rush here from ENCE!
ENCE has pushed into the trophy room. They're going to tag one down. Looks like Chalet picks up the kill into Poseidon, gets injured in the process. Rafael also removed from play by Boonsy through the kitchen window. A 5-on-3. Zephyr picks up that kill to Panari. Bibu picking it up through the window to meet Boonsy's face with a couple bullets. 3-on-3. Chalet's still been injured. Kanto and Wilkie will have to hold down the fort now that the diffuser has been planted. Looks like Chalet gets picked back up. It's going to be a 3-on-3 game. Zephyr is above. He's likely to hop on out the balcony, hop into the window. And it looks as though that kill from Spark will then lead into a potential downfall here for ENCE. But no, Chalet's going to say, go down, Bibu. And Zephyr comes swinging in forward to the hallway here. Spark comes on board. He's going to be detected and then be taken out there. And that's going to be the round in favor of ENCE. It's now 4-1. We are now match point away from going into the overtime third map.
It looks like ENCE is just going to be able to secure that third map. As you can see here, some excellent play. I love that rush straight in through the B bomb site window. No mucking about, just shift W, and it absolutely worked. They saw the gas canisters, and as you can tell, Supremacy, whoever was playing smoke in that instance, he popped off his gas canister. He was like, okay, I'm good. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
They're not going to push through gas. And lo and behold, here comes the entire ENCE team straight on through your gas canister, and they did not care one bit. And they got that full control over B, and it just caught Supremacy off guard. Now, ENCE, with their own trophy defense, I'm sure they're not going to fall for such a trick.
Attackers have located a bomb.
No, and that's got to be, some of that has to be given to the fact that ENCE did a very good job of droning out that top floor, realizing how much investment Supremacy had put up into there, how many operators, how many players they had up there, and allowed for just to say, hey, let's push in. We know there's a smoke. We know we can survive at least 2-3 seconds into it, and let's hopefully get this engagement underway.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, it does look like ENCE is going to want to push us to map numero 3. So
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
they only
Attackers'
have to win
objective
one
is to defuse
defense.
the bomb.
And on a site like Kitchen Trophy, it's totally feasible. Supremacy's got the pressure on their shoulders now, and this is a huge shift from what we were seeing earlier on the previous map. Because it did really feel like Supremacy were in a very comfortable spot on Kafe. And now it's just somehow that is completely shifted. You see Supremacy playing aggressively as they do and winning fights as they do, but it's just not enough for the strategy that we're seeing ENCE throw at them.
Zephyr working his way up onto the bathroom balcony, trying to pinch out anyone that might be inside of the library, but there's no one there. It's only Wilkie. He's going to be here by the L. Outside by Office, gets spotted out by Rafael. Zephyr's going to hop in through the window here momentarily. Poseidon's just going to drone it out first. Bibu's already got control. Oh, to his right side is going to be Kanto. There comes the shot going on down. A wonderful collapse, a wonderful crossfire. Zephyr will come up on that frag.
That's the power of drones, ladies and gentlemen. Now ENCE, when they were in a position to lock this out, are in a 2 versus 5 now. We are going to have Chalet go for that late roam. Meanwhile, Boonsy going to be the only anchor left. That was just a very good collapse from Supremacy onto the roam game from ENCE. Having such an immense roam game meant that, you put all your eggs in one basket, you're going to result in heavier losses.
Now Chalet has managed to get back up to the lobby. He's going to be aggressive, though, and not stay passive. moves on forward. He saw Rafael. He's going to wait for the peek. Oh, you're holding a softer angle. He looks away at the wrong time. Rafael then gets spotted, gets taken out. Poseidon going to go up to the balcony. Shat's going to come out on top. Takes off the Blackbeard's head. Oh, that's a Hibana as well. Takes top floor control, but then says, I'm going to move on over. He had Diffuser up there, but he knows he's just going to spend time.
Yeah, I don't think he saw it. With a minute left, he probably should have tried to stay upstairs. But, you know, coming back to his teammates, not the worst thing in the world. Technically, they can both hold very easily here just from the B-bomb site. As soon as the attackers get the diffuser, they are going to have to plant in kitchen or trophy, which is easily controlled from just trophy. So now we are going to have Boonsy and Chalet in a nice little crossfire here to hold this out for the possible win outright.
Yeah, now these gas canisters are seeming to be a little bit early, but that's going to allow ENCE to then rotate around, make sure that they've got the angles they need to. Last gas grenade got tossed, I think, right there by Boonsy. Not exploded just yet, but a 3-on-2 is going to ensue. You've got flash grenades going on inside. Chate's still going to have his vision. Spark's going to push in from the window, place some pressure onto the trophy window. As Chate's close, he gets one. Can he get the shot there on a Bibu? He's going to go for it here momentarily. He's also got the window shot by Spark. Spark is 2 bullets away from death, and Chate's going to turn away right at the wrong time. He looks on over. He grabs that kill now on 2-on-1. We're going to see Bibu get out. Chate with the ace. That's going to be it here. That is going to be right there. Good half. That is going to be a 5-on-2, I believe. 5-on-1.
Wait, technically we can call it a 5-on-1 because Chalet did ace.
5-on-1. No, I meant 5-to-1 win here for ENCE eSports as they take map number 2. We are then going to go into our third and final map on Oregon. Again, each and every single one of these games, each and every single one between any map that Sisu has played, any series Sisu has played, or ENCE now, and any series that Supremacy has played, has always gone to a third map. And that is what we're seeing here on the first playoff day between these two teams.
Now, I don't want to say that Chalet absolutely carried the heck out of that match, but Chalet absolutely carried the heck out of that match. Wow, stepping up there, especially on that last round, but overall throughout the map.
He ultimately, I mean, we constantly hear about players that shine here and there on teams. We talk about Nesk often on BRK Esports. We talk about players such as Kanter Raketi on ENCE from time to time. Now we've also got Chalet we can mention. I mean, Chate's always been a very strong player.
He's definitely one of the best players on Sisu in terms of versatility. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Hopefully, also most notably that ace towards the end. Because I believe that was an ace. I can't help but feel like
he picked up the 2 top side. That was going to be the Thermite and Hibana.
It was an ace.
He grabbed on down. He went downstairs, grabbed the shots there onto, I think it was the Sledge, the Blackbeard.
It was a well spaced out ace too.
Here's
attempt number 2.
Toss.
And there it goes.
Might have been a little bit too far. No, it did pick up Rafael.
There you go. Love that C4 from Wookie.
Now here was Zephyr. He's going to pick up the 1 kill as the trade king.
Yeah, unfortunately they still lost that round, and it was, again, there you go, because of that Blackbeard pressure that we talked about.
That's Bibu just swinging on up saying, I see the top of the shield. He's not looking at me. We can get the side shots onto him.
And here it is, that round that was supposed to be won by Supremacy. I mean, a 5-on-2, or technically a 5-on-1, because Boonsy just got put into a corner.
There it is. So there's the first 2 kill from Chalet. He's going to drop down, and he later be right here. Picks up the 1 kill there on the Zephyr. Turns around, gets the Blackbeard. That's 4 kills. He's going to move on over. Gets split a Bibu as well. And congratulations on the ace.
Very well played there to Chalet to definitely win it for his team. Single-handedly, absolutely.
Single-handed. Yes. Now, ladies and gents, that was the end of map number 2. We're going to get underway with map number 3 here in a moment. Again, to reiterate the importance of this series, in case you just recently joined us, the winner secures their spot to LAN in Cologne, Germany at Gamescom in the middle of August. The loser will have to play next week against Millennium, as Millennium was unsuccessful in their victory or in their match against Penta earlier this evening. So the loser today will then go up against next week into Millennium. Winner from that game between Millennium and the loser of this series will also get their spot at LAN, because there are 3 teams from the European scene that make it all the way to Germany.
Yeah, and going on to a map like Oregon, I really cannot say which team this is going to favor. I think I want to say overall, I think it's going to favor Supremacy, but ENCE really stepped it up in that last map.
A part of me is feeling Supremacy, but the momentum, if ENCE can keep it up.
Well, that's what we were saying about Supremacy coming off of the last map too. I mean, I don't think momentum's going to be much of a factor here. I think it's just going to come down to playing their own game and committing to what they know they can do. Because what we saw ENCE do that last map, I mean, yes, absolutely. You saw Chalet be like, you know what? I'm a really good freaking player, and I'm just going to go, I'm going to kill everybody. I'm going to win it for my team. I'm going to make this happen. And we didn't see that from them, from ENCE on the first map. They were just kind of dormant.
We didn't. I mean, you talked about how they are an emotional team. And from time to time, the emotion can be in their favor and can help them secure that victory. Like Chalet, I guarantee you he's very emotional.
He's got to be happy right now.
But at the same time, that emotion can lead to variances in how one plays. We saw, for example, Poseidon actually on Supremacy. He did very well on the first map on Kafe, didn't do so well on the second map. But when a full team is very, we'll call it emotional, you can turn around from a deficit. You can turn around from a loss very quickly, but you can also turn around from a victory very quickly as well, and things can go south very quickly.
Yeah, it is kind of all turn on a dime sort of thing, a little bit of a bipolar thing going on with some teams that find themselves in that position. I don't think it's too much of an extreme, though. I think that's why we're talking about, like, with ENCE, for example, they're a little bit more strategic than what we see from Supremacy. And I think that actually works to their advantage within the context of how they operate as a squad, because it gives them a little bit of a grounding. It gives them something, a track to run along.
So let's talk. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say let's talk about Oregon for a second here, because we've started to see a lot more Red Tower play, I'll say, than past seasons.
It's still abnormal, and it usually results in a loss for the defenders, to be quite frank. I mean, the more interesting thing for me is that kitchen defense, which, while arguably also sees a good amount of losses, I think it's about even compared to the tower, which I have to say is probably about 90% losses. We don't see that tower defense won very often. I think that it has potential to be a good bomb site, but not in the same way that on Chalet we had the bar gaming room thing going on. That bar gaming room, that's absolutely a good bomb site. That's totally viable. Customs defense from Penta on border, absolutely viable. I love the way they set themselves up there. They have all their bases covered, and it works well for them. I mean, it's undefeated. Every time the Penta's gone customs on border, for as far as I can remember, they've never lost that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of bomb sites that are variant to the meta that I think are absolutely justifiable to go to, but the tower, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that when we see it in Pro League, maybe in scrims it's different, but when we see it in Pro League, it is usually bad for the defenders.
We're still waiting on the lobby to get reformed and for players to funnel on in. Let's reminisce for a minute about this past season and all the different, we'll call them off-meta or off-standard bomb sites throughout the different maps of this Pro League. So on Oregon, we have the Red Tower, we have Kitchen and Dining. We've seen both of those sites. On Bank, we've seen all four. We've seen the top four, Nox Gaming being the one to show us all four bomb sites on Bank. On Chalet, we've seen all four bomb sites, the top floor and the gaming room and bar. Consulate, obviously, all three. Border, have we seen a Teller hold yet on Border this season?
Not this season. No,
not this season.
Not this season. Last time we saw it was Invitational, if I recall correctly. But luckily, we have a map to play.
We do. We are going to get underway here with Oregon, our third and final map of this evening for this best-of-3 series. First map went into favor of Supremacy, second to ENCE. And we are going to start off here with ENCE on attack and Supremacy on defense. Not a big change up in operator selections here. The Mute is kind of a more standard pick on Oregon. We've seen a lot of Mute play recently.
Yeah. And as ENCE the size of Relief, and we see Supremacy the opposite. The size of, oh boy, here we go again. We will have Supremacy starting on that defense of the basement. No big surprise there. And going on to the attack of the basement, they're going to have a glass, which is somewhat different than what we're used to seeing on this particular bomb site. Although I like it. So what's going to be happening with that glass in all likelihood is they're going to be pushing into that main lobby, opening the main lobby drop, and then laying down a smoke screen, going for the defuse plant. Now, that kind of fell out of the meta when they took smokes off of Thermite and Ash, because most teams actually don't find themselves with smokes anymore. Not a lot of Jackal gets played, not a lot of Glass gets played. And utilizing that smoke is going to be
Attackers are moving out to
unique
locate a
now
bomb and
in that
defuse it.
sense, in that, and it will be likely not hard countered by Supremacy. So that's going to give ENCE a good position to pivot from. At least a little bit of a leg up.
And we can see Kanto coming in from the construction site, holding down the bottom of the red tower, rotating himself up towards the very top. Which there is no one from Supremacy there just yet. We are going to spot out Spark roaming inside of the top floor.
This is such a heavy roam.
Zephyr's also here, yeah. Very heavy. They've got 2 heavy roamers all the way top side west end of the building.
They've got Bibu in meeting hall as well. If ENCE just commits to a construction take right now, and they're not going to do that, obviously, as they don't know everything, but if they committed to a construction take right this second, then they would absolutely just win this round outright, as it would take way too long for Zephyr and Spark to rotate. Unfortunately, they're not going to do that. They're going to try and clear from west to east, starting with these 2 roamers. They are going to drone them out together as a team and try to eliminate them. If they can actually take out Spark and Zephyr without losing anyone in the next 40 seconds, then they're going to be in a great position moving forward. However, half of the round has already progressed here, as you can see, and that is already a good portion of time off the board.
Ooh, Zephyr's going to tag the head there on the Wilkie, peeking on out of the kids' dorms. Unfortunately, the drone has spotted out Spark, but not Zephyr, and the dual team roam will be successful for the moment. Kanto, though, gets the trade there onto Bibu.
Now it's down to Spark. He's got to get this refrag. And he's going to be blind. Kanto's going to secure this kill in a second. And that's going to be, whoa, a nice double kill there from Kanto. That's the roam game completely cleared out there for the defenders. ENCE are going to be progressing now onto their main site attack. And they have plenty of time to do it. 57 seconds in a 4 versus 2. That's plenty of time.
I mean, you basically called it right on the dot. You had 1:41. You had said 40 seconds is when they need to have those roamers cleared. 1 and 1 second is when that shot landed.
Yeah.
So they have 61 seconds to finish off this push, and they're going to be very successful in doing it as long as Poseidon does not utilize those gas grenades to the best of his ability, which he's most likely going to do. He's got all 3, and there's only 30 seconds. He can easily hold off this plane. He just needs to toss it right now. There it comes.
Oh no, a shot to the face though.
And it does take a shot to the face. Kanto picking up the kill to Rafael. ENCE, in a thunderstorm, will win the first round here on Oregon.
So you're right, he could have stalled out that round with gas canisters. But
Could have, would have, should have, but wasn't able to.
Yeah, Chalet really seeming like he's on fire tonight.
Yeah, just Chalet things.
Laundry room, supply room, defense now. Going to be going back down into the base. Well, back down, I say. This is their first defense on this map, but into the basement they go nonetheless. They will be bringing a mute somewhat different than we are used to seeing, although nothing huge. That was a 4K from Kanto, as you could tell there. Very impressive. Starting with clearing out 3 roamers upstairs and then 1 of the anchors, and then Chalet finishing off that last. That's just some good teamwork, though, you got to be honest. When it comes to anchors, most of the work, sorry, not anchors, roamers. When it comes to roamers, most of the work, we have to be honest, in killing them is done by the droners. The guys droning out those roamers to tell the frag hunters to go, hey, go kill this guy. He's right here.
Now, what we're seeing here from Supremacy is definitely an understanding and counter to the double mirror window, which we're going to be witnessing from ENCE eSports. We saw the double mirrors go right down inside of the closet, a very typical spot to see them, and that is exactly why we're seeing Zephyr played on the Capital.
Yeah, not only is it like a typical spot, it's the definitive spot. You don't see basement on this map played anymore without Mira, and more importantly, you don't see Mira not go in that closet. I mean, we've not seen it once or twice, maybe once actually, probably just once.
We've seen more successful red tower holds than we have seen storage windows or storage rooms without mirror windows on them.
Yes, absolutely, and that is so very few. But we are seeing Supremacy clearing out these roamers now 1 step at a time. They're going to be conscious of these 3 roamers inside of the showers and kitchen, respectively. Look at that. What an investment from ENCE. They also have one at the top of main lobby stairs.
Wilkie is fully cornered. He has no way out of that bathroom unless it's going to be through the sights of Bibu.
He's got a shotgun, so he can emergency evacuate. Bibu's going to drone him out, though. That means that Bibu's just going to, yep, I'm going to chill here, wait for you to come.
Yeah, I mean, he could, so other than the shotgun, he does have the C4, but that's going to be the rush. He knows it's coming. That's going to be the second flash. He's totally stunned, and there comes the shots. Bibu picking up the head kill. He's not going to look. Oh, he saw the shot, but he missed it, and that was Rafael to actually pick up the sweep to kill. A 3-on-5 now. Spark will need to get picked back up, but he is not alone. Rafael getting another kill onto Panari. Wonderful frag there. 5-on-2 now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, guess what happened? The same thing that happened to Supremacy in the previous round. ENCE committed way too hard to the roam game, and as a result, they are now in a 2 versus 5.
This is looking, I want to say it's looking a little bit like what I was expecting from the Latin American scenes on Oregon, in the fact that we see a tremendous amount of pressure put on from the attackers onto the defenders roaming. It's not 1, it's not 2, it's not even 3. It's literally 4 or 5 players all surrounding the roamers.
Yeah, and as we say that though, now that the push is coming out, Chalet doing Chalet things and getting a kill. I don't think it's going to be enough though to be completely, but wow!
Oh, Chalet peeking on up through the smoke. He's going to tag that kill there down onto Zephyr. That's 2 kills for him. And the second mirror window is going to get opened up. That's going to allow Bootsy to gas it on out.
Oh,
he throws
no,
it a little
he
too
missed.
far, and so Poseidon will get the plant on down. Second one's going to go. Poseidon will get gassed on out. He's going to move on over, and he will get out successfully. Supremacy, now they're going to hold from above. Looks like Chalet will meet his fate as Poseidon takes off his head. A 3-on-1 now. Bootsy has 0 gas grenades left and SMG-11 in his hand. He's going to go for the roam game around the back. It's going to be expected here in about 5 seconds. You're going to see Supremacy start to rotate around. There's Bibu, who's getting ready for it, as well as Poseidon. They know he's coming around for the back because there's too many people to fight through the middle. Couple shots going on through. Bibu's going to come out on top. Shot through the couch. Supremacy will then win round number 2. It's going to be 1-1.
The attackers having a good go of it so far on this map, and again, it really just comes down to those roamers. Every round so far, the roamers have been completely useless. They've simply been fodder for their team and put the other team in the advantage. The first team to be able to get a successful roam game off, or decommit from that, just come off the roam game, stop doing that, and anchor hard on the side, is likely to win that first defense, which is likely to propel them then into a significant lead in the map overall. Kid Storm's going to be the defense now for Supremacy.
Attackers need to locate
They are
and
going to
defuse bombs.
try to make this work. Now, last time I believe they did try to defend the basement, similar to where ENCE attempted to defend. And they basically just roamed hard upstairs, and it did not work for them. Now, curious to see how they're going to try and hold this. Are they going to go for a roam downstairs in the kitchen? Because when you have that roam downstairs in the kitchen, it is usually helpful. However, only if you're kiting. If you try to hard hold kitchen, the attackers will just sandwich you and take you out, and you'll be nothing but a waste for your team. Same as the west lobby roam, or not the west lobby, just the west side roam of this building that we've been seeing on the basement hold. But if you can kite from the kitchen over to meeting hall and waste some time, you can effectively win the round single-handedly as a roamer. It's all on the roamers though to be able to have the capability to do that.
We've seen that once or twice before, and it looks as though they have opened up that hole from the pantry closet into the meeting hall. So they will have that ability, that capability to rotate on out and try to play that kite game.
Possible, but again, it's all down to the actual players who are trying to commit to that. Meanwhile, ENCE is actually attacking from the tower, so I think it will be rendered a pointless, a null factor. Null factor is, you know, you can't.
We've seen this before. Zephyr's going to be looking to get the shots down onto Boonsy as he might try to rappel into the top of Red Tower.
Doesn't look like he's going to find him, though. He's got the camera, but that's not the information he needs. Yeah, so going to be a tower attack here from ENCE, and it doesn't look like that roam from Junk Tower is going to be much effective. Now, this is just them attempting to eliminate the... this is them just trying to eliminate the factor of somebody being able to flank when they repel onto the B windows, when the attackers repel onto the B windows, because the tower is the only way to do that as a defender.
Now, Zephyr, oh, he's still going to look away at the wrong time. Wilk is going to go down a little bit further, and it might be in line of sight of Zephyr if he opens up the window a little bit more.
Well, the tower and I guess the dining table door.
Undetected.
Now we still have Zephyr here around inside of the White Tower. All he's waiting for at the moment is either to be droned out and then back onto site, or he's going to wait for the call for someone to be on that big A window. Spark and Panari going to meet face to face. Panari comes out on top after throwing a couple bullets in the favor of Spark. 4 on 5 now, still 1/3 of the round left to go.
Army control's been forfeited by the defenders. Instead, they've committed much harder to this deep roam game they've got going on here. And not trying to hold Armory is going to mean that ENCE has a lot of control here on this push.
If the attic and north windows are all going to be in favor of ENCE, you're going to see Wilkie end. Oh, there's going to be a jump out from Zephyr. He's going to move on over, tries to go for the kill there onto Wilkie, tags one, and then gets traded out. But that's also Diffuser that's fallen. It's going to waste a lot of time for Boonsy. He's got to get back up there. That's going to allow some members from Supremacy to rotate over. It's a 4 on 4. Rafael, as he swoops on over, he will be tagged down by Boonsy. Shotgun from Poseidon's going to get the trade down onto him. A 3 on 2. Now with Panari shots and Kanto, last man alive. Bibu's underneath. He's got a C4 in hand. He's going to look for a steady heartbeat. As Diffuser is going to be inside of Kitchen. He spotted him out, calls it on over. Now he could go for the shots down. C4 needs to come on out. It's going to go on over. Will Bibu get there in time?
10 seconds remaining.
He's going to go for the toss. Looks for shots, tags it down, tosses it up. Can he get it? Oh, it goes down but misses it. And there it goes. The plant will be successful. Bibu now realizes he's the last man standing.
So Chalet, despite not getting that kill and finishing the round outright, he did deny the diffuser stop from Bibu. And as a result, it looks like ENCE might walk away with this round.
Looks as though it is. Bibu is about 2 hits away, 1 if you're looking right at him. And Panari and Kanto are not likely to give this up. Flashbang's going to come on out towards the stairs. Bibu's going to be right there. Flashbang then goes, keeps him blind, and that is going to be it. Round will go in favor of ENCE. There you have it. That is going to be Kanto's peeking on that from the kids' dorms.
So again, ENCE really capitalizing on the fact that those roamers existed, picking them off early. And then after that, just going for a consolidated push in through the B windows. Really love that. Also, the fact that they got that crossfire from the main west window onto the B windows and the rappel in. So when Blackbeard got taken out from that smoke shotgun, there was the refrag. Absolutely great teamwork there from ENCE. And now we're going to see the same defense from ENCE that we saw from Supremacy just prior.
We are going to see a Rook come out here today. It's going to be played by Panari. We typically don't see Rook, and they are foregoing their Mira instead of it. Which we've said before, Mira is not too important, it's not a huge essential or not a top priority for a top floor bomb site hold. And that could be why they're going to be bringing the Rook here.
I mean, she's definitely useful, but you're right. She doesn't fulfill like the necessary role that she does down in the basement. And that putting that mirror window onto the closet in the basement, you gotta have it. You gotta have it. Up here, not the worst thing in the world if you don't. But yeah, Supremacy. Going to be bringing that Ash, Thermite, Blackbeard, Hibana, and Capitao. The Capitao Air Firebolt is going to probably going to be trying to use them. You know what, it looks like it, based upon the Capitao pick, I'm guessing it's going to be a tower take. Once they've taken control over tower, they're going to repel on those B windows, same as ENCE did. Because those Firebolts are super useful in taking kids' dorms. There's a specific angle, as you can see here, where he's zoomed in right now, between the two windows that you cannot really get. You can't get the angle on if you're repelling. So the only way to get rid of someone there is usually just to use those fire arrows, because nades, of course, will be stopped by the ADS. And it takes way too much time to try and stack up your flashbangs.
Now Zephyr is going to be cautious of some potential Valkyrie cameras being tossed on out. Chalet, though, might get Zephyr as he strafes across. Little peek happening. Rafael, though, he's already ready for it. Takes that 5.56 to Chate's face, sits him down for the round, and we're going to have a 5-on-4. Still plenty of time, though, for the attackers to just permit this onslaught forward. Wilkie is tucked around inside of the dining hall, I believe that is, unless that might just be the hallway. I think he is hallway right now. He's going to get burned out.
Oh, wow, he is lit, and he will be taken down by Spark. I don't think the secure will come out, though. Raphael is probably going to push for it. Yeah, no, he actually might get away. Could you imagine?
If he gets away from a fire arrow and a Blackbeard, that's going to be unheard of.
Oh,
he is.
no.
Cantor's going to pick him up.
Amazing.
Spark's going to drone that out, say, okay, there they are. He's now been picked up. No need to go for it. Wilkie does not need to re-peek. He goes, if he's aggressive again, it will likely not go in his favor.
So that really should have been a 5-on-3, but somehow ENCE managed to salvage that.
If ENCE comes out on top on this round, that will be the big mistake that allowed that victory to happen.
Yeah, so Capitao does still have one firebolt, and he's going to be using it to try to get rid of this smoke here, tucked in between these two windows, as we talked about earlier.
Now
Here it comes.
Now
He's actually moved.
He's moved over to the corner, and Bibu did not see it.
He wasted his fire arrow. That's it. It's done. He's only got the one. Poseidon, meanwhile, is going to take out Wilkie.
That is the last gas grenade. There it is. However, the shots come on through. Boochie's going to get the kill on his Zephyr. The fire arrow is going to do a little bit of damage, but not enough. Bibu now needs to get on over to the window by A's sight. 35 seconds to go. A 4-on-3 here. Looks as though Bibu and Raphael both going to try to challenge this. Now Flashbang's going to go in. Now that means a rappel inside. There it is, and he got the timing wrong. Bibu comes out on top. Raphael will be taken out by Kanto, though. That's the Thermite falling. A 1-on-3, and it looks like ENCE will not win this round. So Spark on Supremacy will get the shots down from the outside of a window.
A good lockout there from Supremacy, shutting down Chalet early on his peek out, and then just the roam game overall being eliminated. I mean, you clearly saw ENCE, they were trying to commit to that roam game, but I mean, it was really truly unfortunate, to be completely honest, and we've been seeing this every single defense. Neither of these teams' roam games are making a dent, having any effect whatsoever. And they're trying, sure, but it's just not happening. So now, Supremacy, they're going on to their laundry room defense. And my big question here for you, Supremacy, are you going to be roaming two people in West again? Or are you simply going to anchor on the site? Because the anchors are the only defenders that have really been influencing these rounds.
Kanto coming out strong for his team this round. We see the 7K from him after 4 straight rounds of play. Now, I agree with you. I don't think Supremacy should be putting 2 members in top West 4. That's not going to work out for them. What might work out for them, though, is putting 2, possibly 3 people inside of the meeting hall. And if they do that, and then with correct timing and understanding the amount of pressure being put onto them, if they then default rotate back onto site, it's possible that that will then lead to their victory on the site.
10 seconds remaining.
Anything's possible.
5 seconds to insertion.
We'll see how Supremacy choose to go about it. Looks like they are committing to that roam game yet again. They're going to be putting their utility up on the west side of the building. And if it works, it would be tremendous for their team. Well, it hasn't in the past, of course. It hasn't for either of these squads. But the possibility is still there.
You say put all 2 back on site. They say hold my beer, and they've added a 3rd one.
Let's go Supremacy.
Bibu was up top. He was playing some mute chambers down, giving him a little bit more cover.
That's going to be actually really useful. Those mute jammers is going to allow these 2 players to roam with a lot more freedom.
But you're sitting in the same spots.
Yeah, it still puts the pressure on ENCE to figure that out. I mean, maybe they're predicting that ENCE is going to predict that they're not going to be in the same spot. I don't know. Whatever the case be, this is going to give Spark and Zephyr a lot more maneuverability because of those mute jammers exclusively. Not much time being wasted here as ENCE start to drone out Spark and Zephyr. We are going to see this wall get opened up in Closet, and that's Spark already lit up.
Oh, he missed the target. Kanto was looking high as Spark was low. He's going to go for the refrag there. Flashbang's going to come on out. He's fully blind, but I don't think Kanto's going to re-engage. Boonty will take the shots there from that MK17 onto Zephyr, finish him down. Flashbang's going to come on out. Spark is here with a pistol kill. Gets him down. Bibu also with a kill of his own, and Bibu getting a 2nd kill. This roam game is now looking like it's going to work in their favor, even though Raphael and Zephyr have fallen and met their match. It is Chalet and Wilkie, last 2 alive here for the attackers.
And what seemed like a nice roam clear has quickly fallen apart for ENCE, and now they have to find 3 with only 2. A rotation from Spark is going to put him down in Classroom, and that's going to really shake up this ENCE attack, although they're conscious of it.
Chalet knows that he's rotated back down, but he doesn't know if he's moved on over to the kitchen or stayed inside of the Classroom. Chalet needs to pre-fire this a little bit. He might not. Wilkie looking like he might expose himself. There's one kill. He's going to go for another, but Chate's going to drop down. He goes for the kill there onto Poseidon, but misses. He keeps on going for it. He there and downs him. He's got 2 more to go. He's got the bearing 9 in his hand. He just go for the plant potentially. There's 40 seconds to go. Sparks coming around one side. Bibu's going to be on the other.
I think he was expecting the other 2 defenders to go fast, but they decided to play this slow, and that's probably the right move by them.
Definitely. Poseidon can hear if the plant's going to go down. He then gets finished off, calling out his team where he's at. Bibu's going to fall inside a box. Don't know if he did it silently or not. I think he is. Chate's going to move on over. There is a drastic pinch and a crossfire happening. I don't think Chate, no, you cannot plant inside of that closet. It would have been almost game over if he had. But instead, he's going to go here right inside of the supply room. And Bibu going to toss that C4. Good night. No, it misses its target. Still walking around with 2 health and a dream. Who goes to the right side, misses target, goes left, and gets the trade!
Trade!
But it's not going to be enough because it's not the last defender, and that's going to mean Supremacy will win round number 5. They go up 3-2.
How did he hit that shot? You have to imagine if he had shot to the left instead of the right there, he would have won that fight straight up.
Yeah.
Put it into 1 versus 1.
How do you get a pre-fire on the right side and the left side and still get the
straight,
kill?
That's insane.
that is Chate for you.
Chate is on point tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Laundry room, supply room defense now from ENCE, and as you can see, the roam game from Supremacy finally working, shining through. Well done, I say, sirs. Now, that really does, I think that is really easily attributed to that mute play. You saw Bibu come up late with that mute. Also those jammers, very put to great use there for Supremacy.
Yeah, also the double kill from Bibu was tremendous. That was the mute, and definitely helped get their team into the lead. On top of that, though, Chate was looking in the right spot because he knew that, I think it might have been Spark. I think it might have been Spark playing the Bandit. He had jumped down from the window of the middle dorms, got into the classroom window undetected. He was identified as being as the sound effect. The sound.
Everyone's going to hear that, yeah.
Everyone heard it.
And it's a pretty
Really
common
jumped
rotation.
Out, went on over, and Chate just wasn't sure if he stayed inside of the classroom or went over to the hallway, and he guessed wrong.
Yeah, truly unfortunate. If he had killed that bandit immediately in classroom, it would have been a 1-on-1. And if the same scenario had played off,
no, it would have been a 2-on-2.
2-on-2, excuse me, or 2-on-1, excuse me. Well, because the Glass had to die. The Glass had to have died. I mean, they crossed at the same time.
No, but what I'm saying is Chate could have looked into classroom before they made that cross because he already looked towards it. Yeah.
Supposedly, yeah, but whatever the case be, if he had killed him after the Glass died, it would have been a 2-on-1. He would, if the same scenario had played out from there, that it would have been a draw, which would have been quite interesting. We haven't seen a draw in Pro League in a long time. You can see here that ENCE not investing very heavily in this roam game right now, as compared to what they have done in the past. Still a little bit aggressive on their anchorage, but, well, having quite a lot of anchorage.
Wilkie's going to be on these back stairs, and he's just going to sit tight for the moment. Zephyr also still is a statue moving in forward. All he's doing here is just allowing for some information, allowing for the flank to be held, for the rotation to happen. As Poseidon moves in towards garage, West End has already been taken control of. The only man off-site is Wilkie. He is on those back stairs. The rest are there rotating back to site.
Oh, he's coming back down, too. He's barely, you couldn't even call it off-site practically. He's just tippity-toeing out of the water nice and slow and coming right back. He's looking for an aggressive kill just to get his team some slight advantage, especially considering how cramped ENCE has got to be right now, with the fact that they've completely left this roam game. They've abandoned any and all roaming, and it's actually working fine for them. I mean, there's only a minute left for the attackers now.
Yeah, I think what this is going to allow is for Boonsy to actually stay alive and get some gas grenades tossed out, but it's got to be the correct distance. Last time it was a little bit too far.
Yeah, they got to time him right, too. There's still a lot of pressure on the defenders. But 40 seconds, and the attack is only just now starting to commence, really.
There's Poseidon. He's going to go for the plant. Looks like Gas Grenade will not go down. However, the C4 will. Chalet picks up that kill into the diffuser planter. That's going to be Poseidon falling as Kanto trapped a kill there onto Rafael. First Gas Grenade of 3 will be thrown on out. 25 seconds left to go. Flashbangs now at the mix, and they're going on forward as Bibu's about to rush in. Gas Grenade, that's number 2. Diffuser has been planted by Laundry, so it's going to have to be up to a 3-speed to try to rush on down, pick it up, and go for the plant. 5 on 3 now. Bibu, Spark, and Zephyr, last 3 alive. Zephyr's trying to hold down from the top. Now, there is enough time to pick up that Diffuser. Last C4 is going to go. He's going to pick it on up, go for the plant. He's going to be gassed out a little bit, but not enough there. Then Bibu gets taken out. Spark as well, and Zephyr by Chalet and Wilkie. Chalet gets a 3 kill on the round. Wonderful job there by ENCE.
So, Supremacy. They established complete control, still had a minute to execute their attack. Unfortunately, you saw there from ENCE just explosive aggression on that hard anchor in the bomb site. Onto the attack from Supremacy is all it really took to win that round. Each individual player on ENCE in that instance really shining and managing to bring it now into 3-on-3. Again, a constant slugfest between these two teams. Trades back and forth in these rounds. Now Kid Storm's going to be the defense from Supremacy.
I mean, this is pretty much exactly what we had expected. Going to overtime round, potentially going to the 11th round on the final decider map. And I don't think either of these teams would have wanted to have it any other way. I mean, yes, obviously they would have wanted to win 2-0, but I don't think any of these teams expected it to do anything but be this close.
Again, like the polls reflected definitely this scoreline coming out right now. It was 51% ENCE, 49% Supremacy. So quite an extreme favor of or quite an extreme balance.
So this round right now, as we're going through our stats here, this round right now is the 100th round for Supremacy playing this season. This season alone, this is number 100, which I think is the first time any team can ever say that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen ever, but Supremacy have made it happen.
I mean,
that's cause for celebration right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of rounds in one season.
I mean, this is the 4th series they've played, which this will be the 12th map. 12th map, and that means almost every single map had to have gone to the 8th round at least, which means 5-3 on average, if not even more.
That is just extreme. Supremacy managed to bring it to a struggle against every team they've ever gone up against, whether they win or lose, and they are definitely a beast. They managed to, and you know what, I think you have to talk about how much practice that gives Supremacy in terms of slogging. Just long slogs, just playing the game over and over and over again. Like, that's got to give them some serious duration training, you know what I mean?
At the same time, though, I was going to bring this up during some of our analysis earlier, was the fact that they've had so many games, so many rounds, quote-unquote, on air, visible for VOD and for reanalysis. Does that give them a disadvantage? Because now a lot of their stuff has been seen, a lot of their patterns, a lot of their expectations and assumptions. I mean, it's just one point, one view to look at, because they have a lot of playtime at this high level, especially in the grand scheme of things, but they also have potentially given a lot away.
Well, technically in the terms of practice, you're right. Technically, you get the same kind of practice out of scrims, let's be real. But when it comes to the pressure, and when it comes to, again, just playing for so many hours continuously, that's something that you're getting here that's a little bit unique. Somewhat unique, at least. And again, it is something to be proud of, the fact that you can call yourself the first team to have played 100 rounds.
Yeah, I think that deserves a 100 spam or something.
Yeah.
45 seconds to go, though. It's all 5-on-5. Let's get back into it now, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be pushing in from the north window as well as the attic and the east window here. Now, Boonsy's going to move in forward here. He's going to repel inside after getting 1 kill. Looks like Kanto and Panari going to tag one down, but Wilkie will be traded out by his own teammate. Panari then finishing off Rafael. Sparky And Poseidon, last two alive. Spark gets taken down as Poseidon has to go 1-on-4. He's going to put his back to the wrong person, and Kanto sweeps it on up, and that's going to be ENCE winning round number 7. They now go up 4-3 and are 1 round away from securing that LAN spot at Cologne, Germany Gamescom.
A monstrous collapse there from ENCE, just all at once. 5-on-5, let's move into the site. And it worked wonders. Now they only need to win 1 more round, like you said, get that spot at LAN. They are going to attempt to defend the kids' dorms in that effort.
It's a little bittersweet, though. Your 100th round and you lost it. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but maybe they'll win 101.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll win 101.
How to win rounds 101. Here you go, 101.
Here it is, though. We are going to be seeing ENCE on defense. They're going to choose that top floor site inside of the kids' dorms and the main entry point, that main back stairwell hallway. Honestly, I don't even know what that's called. Is that called bunks?
Which one?
The A bomb site, the main west window.
The A bomb site is, I just call it big west window, or main, or just bunks you call it.
I mean, there's literally 3 rooms of bunk beds. I know kids dorms, middle dorms.
There's kids dorms is the big one. There's generator is the one with the generator. You see that yellow generator there. Yep. And then I usually just call that west window. Or you got little dresser is like, you got specific calls that I usually use for that one.
5 seconds left.
You also got default plant spot. I mean, yeah, no.
Yeah, behind the closet.
That's the A bomb site usually gets chalked up to a bunch of specific calls, at least in my vocabulary.
Yeah. Now here we are. Still underway. Again, this is match point, series point, LAN point for ENCE. If we can have Supremacy win this attack.
I got a hunch that we're gonna have Supremacy win this attack.
I have a hunch as well that we will be going to round 11.
They have forced out almost every time overtime in almost every map. So I got a hunch. You know, I got a feeling that Supremacy is gonna win this round and at least bring it into overtime. Whether or not they'll win that overtime is beyond me.
Now we have 2/3 of the round left to go. Supremacy looking like they're going to force their way up to these north windows, which is where we saw the onslaught from ENCE come last round. Now last time this happened, we saw Boonsy able to secure a kill and navigate through a fire floor and snag 1 kill that was flashbanged and taken out between Rafael and Bibu.
You can see their double Jaeger device. Oh, this firebolt could heavily damage the smoke, and it will, almost killing Boonsy, putting him on 1 HP. The second one might kill him.
Final one it is. He will go down. No,
oh,
no, you shouldn't have spotted him.
Why'd you mark?
If you spotted him right there, that forced him to then rotate out just in the nick of time. He was injured. No, he's not. He's walking away with about 1 health. Gas grenade is going to come out, but not enough time is going to go past as Bibu picks it on up with the R4C from Ash, and that's going to be a 4-5 in favor of Supremacy.
Hey guys, this isn't ranked, you know. We have comms. We can say, hey, he's in corner. He's in the west corner.
I think he already knew that.
Yeah, that's the perplexing thing, is he already knew it too. Whatever the case be, he still did die, thanks to those fireballs pushing him off of that main wall. And now Supremacy with the lead.
They trade there. Spark taking out Chalet as Panari swings around from the top of the back stairs, and he's able to tag a frag there onto Spark. 3-on-4. The north window, the north bomb site has been removed from the play there. Panari getting another 2K. That's going to be a total of 3 for him. He's got Poseidon and Zephyr, last man alive. Zephyr is repelled in the north window. He will tag the head there onto Kanto. A 2-on-2 now. He's got to find his way inside, but if he repels in, guess what? Panari's going to peek on around, and he will tag the shots down. He's going to get the frag as well as Wilkie underneath. They know the repel is here. There's 15 seconds. This round will go to ENCE. C4's going to come on out. Panari gets another ace here. Here's the 5th ace there. Panari tagging all 3 kills. That's going to be it. What a way to end it as ENCE secures their spot to LAN and Cologne, Germany at Gamescom in the middle of August. Now that is a way to go out. Panari snagging the ace. We talked about Chalet doing tremendously well, tagging a 3K, 4K, but him as well here with an ace.
Everybody doing well in this entire match. I mean, it should be really mentioned that Supremacy brought that to the bitter end. despite not getting the win, they still have that potential to go up against Millennium and push themselves into LAN.
They do, and